class. Good morning, girls. This is the pattern. So these are the tasks that we have been doing. We have been revising. So in task 4 we revised last week, and task 5 certain issues we can explain again today. With these elements of narrations, because as I was explaining the girls who arrived earlier, these are important elements that we can use when working with literature and our students in elementary school, and then middle school, and also secondary school or preschool. Yes, all of the levels of different levels of in different levels of education. Literature is taught, and also elements of narration are discussed. Yes, in Spanish, in German, in all of the languages, and they give us lots of elements, not only for self-study, but also for the preparation of classes that we can use with our students of different ages. And I will take advantage of the task number 5 that I have here. I was talking to some of the girls. Task 5 intends to be that kind of task in which, well, you choose a graphic organizer. This is the introduction, yes. And then all of these series of questions for you to make the exercise of analyzing you do an exercise of analyzing one of the books, of the new books that of which you have the link, or if you have any other books that you haven't seen yet, puede ser de los otros libros también que no los vieron todavía. And this series of questions tries to help you focus on the different elements in order to analyze a book. And these are very useful questions that will help you analyze your self-analysis, but then also you start thinking, oh, I can use this with little children, with middle school children, as I said, middle school, 10, 11-year-olds, and older adolescents, for them to focus on something important from the book. And that is mostly the decision of teachers. Sometimes also students can show interest for this or that, depending on their age, yes, and their ability in the language. And then when we remember that you had to do the test of multiple styles, learning styles, and you know that there are people who are more visual, and therefore the fact of having a graphic organizer to focus on the organization of the story is something very important and can help your students understand much better. Remember that not all of them are auditory, and you will be reading the story, but they need to see. So this is a good exercise that you can do with your students as you're reading. You can organize the graphic organizer. Okay, so how are we going to organize these elements in the story? So this is the most common, yes, the rising action. So something happens, then something else, something else. So this addition of elements is the common organization, but not the only one, not the only one. And therefore, this can be interesting and also a good activity for your students to be active, to organize elements on the board, for example. And be creative, be reflexive, yes? So they can reflect and think of the organization of the story. That's something important. Remember, we have kinesthetic children as well. So for them, it would be fundamental to be doing something like this, visual and kinesthetic people. And so that's what you will be doing, analyzing the structure at the beginning, at the end, and the plot is the story, the events, or everything that happens. So, and everything that happens, and then you have an analysis of the characters. That's something important that you do as well with children. Little children can do it. What is the monster like? What does the monster do? And you have a lot of little kids referring a lot to characters. Then conflict. Yes, what is the problem? And here you can go deeper into other themes, or like, for example, bullying, as I was saying. So literature is used in schools to deal with lots of topics of importance nowadays, like bullying, and preservation of nature, lots of things, yes. Then the setting, if that is something important in the setting, many stories can have importance because of the setting, because where they are placed. That's something that you as teachers decide. The point of view and the themes. And this is a favorite with older kids, for example, middle school, secondary school, older kids from 10 onwards, that they focus on the themes, on the messages of stories. Just because, on adults as well, just because you feel you're much more mature to talk about a piece of literature than just telling the setting, the characters, about the events. Yes, going a little bit beyond. So this is a good analysis for adults like you, and then you can also apply any of these to your final activity. Do you have any doubts about this? Any doubts?
No yet.
Not yet. Okay, so this is the last task, 5. Okay, and we can have a special office hours. Remember, on Fridays in the mornings, I can have sessions. If you write to me Thursday evening saying we don't understand, we need support in our project, we can meet Friday morning, okay? So every Thursday I will remind you, just because we have these few weeks. Okay, so what do I intend to do? Well, is revise, well, the written comments, you know, I saw that you have been rewriting comments on the forum. I congratulate you. Then we will revise this again, as we were seeing, and the structure and the elements of the story. The learning styles, that's something you will talk about, who did the different, the test. And the learning style, something interesting for you to know also which kind of support or activities you need to pay attention to the content you need to access. Yeah. And finally, we will do some explanation about extra writing, and extra writing that we need to fulfill also for as one of your evaluations. So this is our evaluation chart. And in here, so for next week, I am going to display it in another way, saying, for example, the oral exposition has been done. If people have not, if any one of you has not done it, can still upload it. There's no problem, it's open. And you have been commenting on that, so that is checked. The portfolio, we said, is something you do little by little. Try not to be behind. Every week, try to complete. If you have doubts, you ask. The participation in the forum is also something you do. As there is a forum, you go and participate there. I'm going to collect all your grades there, remember, by the end of the semester. And then there are 2 more things. The project, this activity I was talking about, which I'm going to explain in detail probably next Thursday, since we have a lot to explain today. And this other writing workshop, which you will see today, and you will start writing a draft for next Thursday. So we had a lot of things to do. And the yes, question?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat about reading workshop?
The writing workshop, we will see we will see now in the class what you will do, and you will write a draft. So you write in stages. So you will write something for feedback. Yes.
Like a borrador?
A borrador draft. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yes, and then I will have to upload soon, probably some kind of grade to the SGC. Remember that we have changed many of these dates. But for you to bear in mind, we will see that today. And also always remember that you have these patterns of writing, always reread them to have new ideas, to have ideas how to organize sentences. And comment on the videos. Please, if tomorrow in the morning you are free, we can meet about videos. If you have any doubts, and we can still talk about that and fulfill that, because that's an important part of your final grade. Yes, this oral exposition is 20%, as you can see here. Yes, the portfolio has more of an impact, but 20% is not something minor. So don't miss that section of your grade. There's no need to do that, and you have had some time to already prepare that. Okay, so check your videos. I know that you have been commenting on classmates' videos. Thank you for that. And I will have that take into account for participation, for the participation grade. Okay, so those are reminders, and also the first revision will be the learning styles, and we know that we have different learning styles. So have you taken the test?
I did.
Okay, Vanessa, would you like to share with us? So which is your, she said she was kinesthetic, probably. What did you find? Was that true?
I how can I have in past?
I did.
Had. I had a lot of punctuation on visual, but kinesthetic was the winner.
Okay, wonderful. So you're a kinesthetic person. What can you do, Vanessa, in order to help yourself? Remember that also this is useful for your children. Yes, you need to discover how they learn and provide them with different activities. That's why I was saying, for example, having a board with different the sections of the story, so that they can put the organization of that graphic organizer is something very useful for kinesthetic people. You can have them come to the board and move around and place different those sections like little cards on the board, and that can be something very useful for your students. And for example, which are the tips that help you learn better?
I have a piece of paper
and
concept or expressions or ideas that teachers share us, and I take them, some of them, the most important for me, and I write in the piece of paper. But my piece of paper is un desastre. It's a disaster.
It doesn't matter, but that's a way in which you can organize your ideas. That's wonderful. Doesn't matter, it's for you. Then you can have an organized graphic organizer like this. It's okay.
No, I can't learn about the mind map or something like that.
Okay, so it's something that you develop a long time, but you know that a graphic organizer can help you or a table, for example, helps you understand better. For example, that's not my case, because when I see a table, I just go over, yes, to read the letters, because I need to read the words. And so we need to learn how we learn better. And that can help us learn and improve a lot. Okay, anyone else is auditory, for example? Who wants to share? Paola. Anyone? Phoebe? Your learning style?
Oh, my learning style. Oof.
Mhm.
Just try to read and repeat and try to say in my words.
Exactly. So visual and auditory, you listen to yourself. Yes, that's also good. Yes, it's the most common. We can say reading aloud also helps in that.
Yes.
Yes. Anyone else? It's visual. You need to see something, pictures.
I need to see. Yeah.
Mhm. Yes. In general, we're visual, auditory. Yes, visual, auditory. That's a good combination. The majority of people are placed there. Um, adults, moreover, because we have learned in that way. Krishna? Krishna, Vanessa, I'm checking. Is here. Anyone who wants to share? So I think this is useful because, yes, you can learn a lot, and you can also learn to observe your students and prepare different kinds of materials for them. So it's very important to know how we learn ourselves also. Just to, as I said, to find the exact strategy that will help us improve and take advantage. Paola, your learning style? You do it, or what do you think you are? So sometimes we are not a pure learning style. That's not possible. We are generally a combination. So you can do this with your students if they cannot read this long, but some of them can be useful, and see how they react. But most of the cases with little children, what teachers do is have different kinds of activities, so they are all involved in a little bit of visual, auditory, and kinesthetic activity. So organizing classes that have a little bit of everything. And then the last task 5, as we were seeing, is focused on the elements and devices, literary devices, and how they impact our reading. Okay, yes, chat. How they impact the reading. Okay. Yes, no, Paola, I was asking you if you had anything to share in reference to the learning styles. If you're a visual or an auditory person, with an aesthetic. I was asking about that topic. Some of you can write, it's okay, Daphne, if you want to share and you can write something. Just trying to get to the chat. Sorry. And Paola, reading, yes, visual, yes. Most of us are visual, yes, we need to see letters, numbers, pictures, yes, most of our children specifically. Other people are auditory, yes, they learn by listening to others, there have been many kids in school who used to say, for example, no, I just listen to the teacher and I am ready for the test. So those people are auditory people whom I admire because they can learn everything just by listening. And then the kinesthetic. But in most cases, we are a combination. Yes, we are never the pure style. Yes, we never have. So we have a combination of them. Okay, so the elements and literary devices can be used, as I explained before, in order to understand the story and work with students with different topics. And in the PowerPoint, I recommended you to access some of these resources to look for information on these elements, that these literary devices that are necessary or that can help us whenever you study literature. You study them and you talk about them every day, you analyze them, but they can also be helpful when teaching children. And so it is important as teachers that you have an idea of what these concepts mean. And we have seen something about themes. We have talked about themes and message. How can you, what can you say about theme and message?
Can you repeat, please? I didn't understand.
Yes, so what can you say? We talked about a lot about these literary devices. Yes, literary. We said something last class that literary devices impact on stories. Yes, and you have here a video, yes, and 2 websites to read in order to find information about these literary devices. And these concepts can help you also work with children of different ages whenever working with literature. And we talked about themes and message. Do you remember last class when we listened to the story of Daisy and I Don't Like Bees? Do you remember?
Yes.
And we said we analyzed the elements. So we analyzed the characters, the setting, the plot, all the events. And then we also said something about the message. What is the final message of that story?
Here, and respect likes from another people.
Yes, exactly. Respect the likes and dislikes of people. Yes, find consensus, find agreement, acuerdo. Let us point out on what we like and not on what we don't like. So the message is very positive. And you have different themes along the story, like food. Food is a theme. Elements that children like, bicycles, swimming pools, blah, blah, blah. So you have lots of toys, so lots of themes repeated that bring together that idea that maybe material things are not important, like so many objects and elements and material things, but what we need to come to an agreement with people, and that is a more important objective. So you can, along many themes, the repetition of themes, you can get to a message. And okay, the conflict. Here I have some of them done for you. So the theme is the themes are repeated. Repetition, repeated element, repetitive elements that help us. What do the themes in the story help us understand? as we said, the food, material things, bicycles, swimming pools, chocolate factories, everything that they mention. The repetitive elements help us understand what?
The situation
or the situation, yes, in the story, the main conflict, yes, the situation, main conflict of the story.
Is
story.
what about is the story?
Yes, all of these elements that conform the story, and because they are repetitive, they become a theme. So food, material things, disagreement. I don't like this. I don't like this. And finally, we get to the message. So that message is the overall, lo que está sobre todo, yes? Overall, what? The main, lo principal, que the overall es más grande que todo esto otro, más grande que los temas, más grande que el conflicto. The overall.
Here for me, the overall, o sea, the message could be the respectful, be respectful.
Respectfulness, yes, that's the message. That is the overall idea, ¿sí? Nosotros hablamos de la idea principal, main idea, also in English. So it's the overall idea of the story.
Of the story.
Yes? As Phoebe said, one word, only one word, yes? Respectfulness, agreement, love. Excellent. What else, Vanessa? Which other one? Vanessa? What did you say?
Nothing. I said of the story and the same time that you did.
The story. Okay, yes, the overall idea. So that's why working with messages is so important with children. So you can take one most important idea. Yes, the most important idea. For example, the carrot seed, which is the message.
Be patient and keep hope.
Hope. Excellent. Hope. Perseverance.
And don't be influenced from comments of another people.
Yes, so just don't pay attention to, yes, or just don't pay attention to negative thoughts. Yes, so it's positive. The message turns out to be something positive. Think of positive ways, think in a positive way, keep going, never give up, persevere. So the overall idea, so it's very good to work with kids of different ages. Yes, and because you go through the events, through the characters, the conflict, the the symbolism, yes, the themes to get to the message overall, the biggest, and that incorporates everything. Symbolism, I did for you the use of a situation or element to represent a larger message. Yes, so for example, just like themes, they repeat along the stories. It can be different things. It can be colors, for example. Colors can be repeated. Probably we need to check in the stories we have read. In the case of symbolism, we have more the repetitive themes. Yes, like for example, we said here in Daisy's story, what is repetitive material things. But we need to find a symbol. Colors can be a symbol. Some elements can be symbol. For example, which is the symbol of love? Which color?
Red.
Red.
Red, pink,
Represent the blood.
of love, yes. Green is the
Hope.
symbol for hope, for health. Yes. So that is a symbol. Some stories, probably longer stories, novels, novelettes can have. We can see the significance of different symbols. In movies, you can also have them. Yes. And also they represent this larger message, yes, this overall idea. The carrot.
Teacher, what is the meaning of overall?
Overall, sobre todo.
Sobre todo.
Yes, the
Thank you.
main idea. Yes, the carrot is a symbol for agriculture, for food, for life. It's a symbol that even you need hope, yes, for life to exist. Even all the time that you're hopeful, there is life, yes, and as long as you are alive, you have hope. So that symbol is also very useful, and you can use it, and you have given lots of examples in your oral exposition, yes, and how you wanted your students to deal with seeds and plant seeds, because that's also a symbol, yes. The seed is a symbol for the beginning, for the future, yes, and you hope that seed to grow. So it's excellent symbols that appear to imply that big message. Okay, so foreshadowing, I wrote to you, is a literary device in which a writer gives an advance of what will come. In larger novels, you might have seen this. In movies, you see this. Something is some it could be a symbol that tells you what is going to happen in the future. And whenever you do predictions, do you remember Snoopy in the reading strategies? Do you remember Snoopy?
I remember.
So what did Snoopy say? You predict, yes? So that is a kind of foreshadowing. Whenever teachers stop, okay, let's stop reading here. What's going to happen? And you see all of the elements that have been repeated in the story that can help you foreshadow, yes, as a foreshadowing of what is going to happen. So teachers can use this a lot. And flashback is the opposite. In movies, you see it a lot. When the character is at a certain point, he goes back. What is back? Going to the, what is back?
Past.
To the past. Yes, exactly. When there is some scene, for example, 5 years ago, in the teleseries, the series, also you see 5 years ago, so that you understand why is the situation happening. And in many stories, longer stories, short stories, or novels, you have a lot of flashback and foreshadowing. Some stories are told in flashbacks. Yeah, so the beginning of the story is the end, and then everything is told towards the past. 10 years ago, this happened. 5 years ago, one year ago, and many movies are also told in this way. So it's one character just remembering the past. Conflict. Well, we said the conflict is the main problem, and there is another word for problem that is struggle, which is similar, struggle, sorry, meaning all the obstacles that the characters have to overcome.
Teacher?
Yes, questions?
Where is the difference between problem and trouble?
Trouble, no, it's similar, no, synonym. Trouble, and then you have struggle in the meaning here, struggle more in the meaning of obstacles. Yeah? como obstáculos, como dificultades. Yeah, struggle, and that is what that's what the characters go through. Yes, the plant won't grow. Yes, it wouldn't grow. So that's a conflict. Atmosphere is the feeling, whether there is tension, and remember we saw this in the outline here. Yes, the action going increasingly towards the top. Yes, and that creates this, can be a suspense, tense atmosphere, or it can be a relaxed atmosphere if it is something funny, a funny story, a relaxed story. And the point of view is the position of the narrator, whether it is first person or third person. And you saw this in literature for sure. Some stories are told in the first person. I did, I went, something happened to me, when we tell our personal stories, or
Teacher?
in the third person. Yes, Vanessa?
How can I say in English omnisciente?
Yes, I will let you know. Position of the narrator. Yes, is that a narrator that knows everything? Yes?
The feelings, the thought, everything.
The one that knows everything, yes. So I will let you know. So it's position of the narrator. It can be third person, or it can be, I will say it's the same. Omniscient, reader's point of view. Yes. Exactly. It comes from Latin, so I think it's an academic word, which is not difficult to translate into English or find the English. Yes, it's this one. So it's the omniscient reader's point of view, and the observer, or that narrator who knows everything in the story, who knows everything that happens to the characters. Okay, yes, excellent. So you're relating to what you saw in the school. Yes, okay, yeah. Anything?
Thank you.
Yes, oh, you're welcome. So all of this we saw in school, at school when we were students. So we can use this with students very well. Some books have more of these devices than others, and you can exploit that in order to teach whatever you want to teach. As I said, whatever is the objective of your class or your unit, what you're teaching, or the objective of your activity. And we will start, remember, small, the seed is that you learn to think of an activity, and then little by little you will be able to organize a complete class. Okay? So again, as I said, whenever you're thinking of the stories, so think of this way of visualizing the stories, and implying, probably inviting your students to be active in the organization of the graphic organizer. And I also presented you this kind of working of this kind of graphic organizer, which is different, just to show you that you don't only have one organization of stories, yes, or one way of visualizing, but you may have others. So this is a complete different one, developing probably a topic, a concept. And this one is more for those stories in which there is action, there are events that go up, or a conflict that goes up, yes, until there is a resolution. So you have different kinds of, these are more for personal stories or biographies or reflective writing. So there are different kinds. Okay, so based on children's literature, we have seen different devices, yes, that help you work with children.
Teacher?
Yes, questions?
I can see that you share us.
Okay, let me check again. So in the, okay, so wait a minute. So going back to last week's task, okay, the Word document from last week, as you can see. So do you think you can work with this discussion? You can work on these elements, most of them, for task
Yeah,
5?
I think so.
Okay, so think of one of the stories you haven't read up to today. If you did the carrot seed, don't do the carrot seed again, do another one. Think of another one
Okay.
and analyze it, yes? And it's a good exercise for you. And you also think that you're preparing these activities for your project. Okay, so do you have any questions about this task? Number 5?
No yet.
Not yet, okay, think, please, if you have any.
Exactly, no yet.
Okay, so whenever you go back, check again the PowerPoints, and there you have lots of other ideas in case you are stuck with a task. Okay, and this will be the last topic in this unit 2. And also think what else can we do with our children to increase this understanding, the interpretation of the story. So there are plenty of things that you can do. You can do read aloud. The children read interactively with you. You can do the small objects experience, telling a story like Professor Carla did. You can do lots of things, analyze the vocabulary. What else can you do? Because we need this brainstorm, that's why. Pre-reading, what activities do you have in pre-reading?
Activate the previous knowledge.
Previous
Like
knowledge, different
from from cover of
from the
book.
cover. Yes, work with the cover of the book, work with the pictures of the book.
Yes.
Miss Kearney Chan works with previous knowledge of children and also with the character, the monsters, how are monsters. So you can do plenty of activities while reading and after reading. And we will see another one more related to writing in order for you to complete that task of writing. Since this is also a module in which you are learning a lot about language, about English, and you have been practicing orally and writing in the forum. So you have been practicing all of the skills in the language. Okay. So now the objective is that you explain comprehension in oral already. Well, you did already oral, and we have been doing in the other unit as well. And now we're going to do the written discourse about children's literature. So now is the time for you to create something in written. And therefore, we're going to fulfill this writing task, of which, as I said, for next week, you need to have some kind of improved version. So I need you from today and next Thursday to produce a draft, un borrador, for feedback. Yes, for formative feedback. So the next Thursday, you can, or Friday next week, you can start finishing some final.
Teacher, for next Thursday, we must to complete the draft, or
Yes.
or we make in class.
No, you can start today. Yes, I will explain
Okay.
to you, and you can start immediately, so that you upload it and I can give you feedback. So that from next week to the next, you have the final. Yeah, the final.
Teacher?
Yes.
The writing isn't in pairs?
Which one? What, Vanessa? What are you saying?
The workshop?
It's today.
No, that evaluation, I mean the workshop.
Ah, so the evaluation will be there when you finish your final version. That's what you're asking?
No, que no es en Spanish.
Sí, okay.
Ese taller de escritura dice que tenemos que hacer como escrito un borrador sobre la historia que vamos a hacer para el proyecto, ¿no?
Yes, no. It's on writing. You see. So then, now I need you. This is only an exercise, yes, for writing, for you to continue practicing writing. That's important. But we will start at the beginning, as usual, and think. We can have 2 students, yes? Decide on one of the storybooks. Well, I just selected this, but you have others. It can be the carrot seed as well. And if you would like to read that aloud in pairs, for example, in collaboration, we can read a short story, yes, in between 2 people. Because what I need you to think is what activities can be done based on that story. For example, make a vocabulary list. So start thinking. I will open one of the stories and we just do the exercise, just as if we were in class with our students. Share with you. Okay, let me share with you this one. Okay, so one sentence each, so you help me read. Okay, who wants to start? We have this card.
For read aloud?
Yes, read it aloud.
Okay, me?
Yes, okay, Phoebe.
From there to here, from here to there. Funny things are everywhere.
Excellent. Vanessa?
One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, black fish, blue fish, old fish, new fish.
Okay, any other one? What can spot? This one has a little star. This one has a little car. Say, what a lot of fish there are. Okay, so you have noticed something, and if we continue reading, and you can read the choral reading, all reading together, or just alternate, or they take turns. Think, what can we do to help little children work with that story? For example, a vocabulary list. Which vocabulary would you pay attention to?
Vocabulary like fish and color.
Colors, yes. So you have colors, blue, white, red,
Black.
black.
I mean new fish, old
Yes.
fish.
All fish, yes, so qualifying adjectives, new, old, exactly. And also there is here, there, those are adverbs of place, here, there, so concepts of place. So there are many words that we can exploit there and teach children, very young children, about basic concepts of the surroundings, we can say, yeah. And what else can we do with this story, for example? What else can you do? You can write as well in the forum, girls, the ones who have an idea, want to share. Watch. What can we watch?
I mean, watch different types of fish.
Different types of fish in videos, for example, types of fish. Videos are very easy to bring to the classroom and so show children probably. They never saw, very little ones never saw a fish. in real life, and so they can see in movies and videos. An aquarium, for example. You can bring a fish to the classroom, depending on your ability, and then you can develop which topic could you develop?
I don't know.
Develop topics related to because
Nature.
No sabe la letra.
Nature, preservation of environment, for example. Okay,
and how can I say diversity?
Diversidad. Yes, diversity.
Diversity.
Yes, develop, yes, and the whole book talks about that. This has a car, this one has a star, and this is, and they are all doing different things. These characters. So yes, that is a good topic. Develop topics related to diversity. Yes, related to diversity, to what they have in common, to what they have that is different or in common. So you can exploit this, and it's a very simple book, very easy to read, very musical with the rhyming, right? And you can work a lot on vocabulary and themes and do different kinds of activities that are kinesthetic. You can make them sing a song following this rhyme, whatever. Yes, you can have many more ideas. So all of these are brainstorming activities that you can do from on with different according to different learning styles, because you can do kinesthetic, they can sing, they can dance, because for example this story has a lot of rhyming, and so you can invent a song, so bring some music, they can dance, or they can go to the aquarium, yeah, and do and visit an aquarium, for example, and see some fish there. You can take them to the beach here in which is the nearest beach here? Constitucion, for example. You can go on an excursion, day trip, and take them to the sea. Oh, you can do many things. But one thing that we're going to concentrate now is writing. So you can do writing as well. And remember, this fits very well for your writing evaluation. And think that, for example, you're also going to be working with kids that can write. And writing is a skill that, what do you think of writing as a skill? Is it easy, difficult?
I think it's difficult.
Difficult, why?
I
will show
because sometimes it's difficult for me start with a text.
Yes,
start to write.
Have ideas. Yeah.
Yes.
So I need to write a chapter, imagine. I do not know how to start. Yeah, exactly. Self-reflection, for example, is difficult. What else is difficult? Get the motivation, right?
I think it's difficult. Be clear when we write.
Be creative. Yes, be creative. Don't be afraid.
And clear, people can understand what I write.
Yeah, exactly. Get the message across. Exactly. And sometimes we write just thinking our readers are going to understand us. And that's not the case. And so I thought about these pictures to show the students in third year about writing. Yes. How do you feel about writing? Some people think. What is the feeling?
Dangerous.
Danger, yes,
Big.
yes. Oh no, we have to write. The teacher, the literature teacher wants us to write the language. Oh, Spanish teacher, no, we have to write. And that was a punishment for us at school when the teacher wanted us to write. And we had at university, we had to write long pages by hand, handwriting, lots of pages. Oh, it was those times there were no laptops everywhere, so we needed to write by hand. So imagine. So it was a bear for us. We practiced a lot, thanks God. We practiced a lot. It was great having that practice. But of course, it was a bear because our professors were checking everything, the spelling, our grammar, vocabulary, all of the soft skills of writing. But what is better? What does research show? It is better for a student, in this case, to feel with writing that it is something dangerous, you're going to die, or something that is friendly.
Company. Yes.
Yes, it's not so tough. Yes, it shouldn't be so difficult. And we might go through stages, like Phoebe said, not having ideas or not knowing the vocabulary. I sat for my first written exam at university and I forgot how to write words. I didn't know how to write the word beginning. And I said, how is it possible? I have been learning English for 6-7 years. I need to remember this word. So writing was very much a bear for us. It was a constant threat, una amenaza, because we tended to think we were not able to do it. But thanks God, when I studied my postgraduate courses, I learned that writing can be friendlier, a puppy playing with us, because we don't need to feel so stressed that is the end of the world. Okay, and that is because, and you're going to see this later, we will concentrate on, can you see here?
Yes.
A process. Yes, though we cannot do it very long because of the time, but just for you to have experience, we will have a process. So where do we start the process?
Drafting.
Before.
Drafting. Pre-writing.
Pre-writing, yes. So remember pre-reading activities?
Yes.
We'll have pre-writing. So you start thinking of the ideas. Yes, Phoebe, so you're not, oh, the bear is coming to eat me. No. Pre-writing. We think of the ideas we're going to see. And this is very much what we do when, for example, we start working with the vocabulary, introducing vocabulary to our students and repeating the words. So it's very much what we do before reading and writing, really. It's done at school, you did it as students. It's something that is in your experience. Then it's drafting, it's sitting down and doing it. Yes, so most of the people, most of students like you feel it is very difficult to sit down and do it. Write a draft. It's not the final. Yes, not the final. You're not, the bear is not going to eat you. It's your draft, your first version. And then it goes for revision. Yes, here is the teacher working. And then what comes back to you? What do you do when it comes back to you?
When what?
When I
When we
give it back
correct.
to you, you rewrite.
Feedback.
Yes, feedback, revision. Yes, I revise. You can revise yourselves. There are different ways of revising. You can give a classmate to revise, or a teacher, or you yourselves. And after you revise, what do you do? Oh, no, I have to
Right?
edit,
Edit. Who can I say?
edit or rewrite. reescribir. We rewrite, and this is something we do all the time. Yes, so this is a circle. You do it with yourselves as well. Whenever you finish something, and then you think, I can. You reread, and then I can change this. With an email, I do the same thing. Yes, I write in the night. Then early morning, I revise, and then I change things because I made some mistake or I want to say something else. And what do? I rewrite. And then publication is the final stage in which I send the message or I upload for the final, my task for final grade. I put it in the portfolio, in the sense, in the case it is a portfolio task. So you don't have to be scared that this is something that it has to be perfect the first time. So this is something that you can do with your students, and it will be very useful for them to share also, if you have the time, the different stages. Yes, share public, and then receive feedback and change, rewrite. Okay, we will see this again. Okay, is that clear? The process? Catalina, are you okay?
Yes.
Okay. So, and very much in this case, we are going to be referring to creative writing. And so with these stories, I thought it was better for you to practice writing in a creative way, right? And so we can have different activities. So this is what you do with vocabulary, with themes, yes, with the devices. But there is something else you can also do with stories so that you practice writing, for example, which is an excellent skill to practice, and it is also always so difficult for students. So creative writing is original writing that expresses ideas and thoughts in an imaginative way. And that is what we see in short stories, in novels. Yes, in the stories we have been writing, those are products of creative writing. And also creative writing is the art of making things up. And make up means invent, ¿sí? Crear, inventar cosas. Also, creative writing makes you step out of reality and into a new realm, a new world inspired by your own imagination. And this is something you also see in the stories. Some stories are fantastic. Yes, the girl that painted everything. So some of the stories are really incredible and out of the real world, we can say. And that's all right. That's perfect in creative writing. You can invent monsters and other worlds and go out and travel in the space. So everything, all of those stories are product of creative writing. And also offers the opportunity to express feelings and emotions, which sometimes we don't see in academic writing when we read about blogs, about literature and teaching. And so that's academic writing, yes? So it's different from all of this. So here, creative writing can give us this freedom of expressing our imagination, our feelings, creating something new. And therefore, I wanted you to give me ideas on how can you develop this creative writing from the stories we have presented here. So which creative writing post reading activity will you do with these books, for example? That is not vocabulary, not grammar, not the analysis of adjectives. No, nothing like that. It's creative writing. You create something new on the basis of the book. Yes, so writing can be used to extend and demonstrate your interpretation of a story. Use children's stories to exemplify different follow-up activities, as for example, writing, analyzing, you will analyze something. or creating something new. What can you create that is new from the stories we have just seen or talked about and read? One idea, something new. So not about vocabulary, about grammar, no, not that. That's analysis of the I mean, elements of the story. But what can we do that is new? Something
Values, valores.
values. Talk about values.
Yes, values. The message of the story.
Yes, we did that already. But you
Yes.
can create, nevertheless, you can develop. Oh, that's a flip. Develop a creative, no, well, a description, we can say, yes, a description, we can say, a description of the values, no, a description about the values present in the story. Like a follow-up writing, yes, present in the story. Yes, like a follow-up, we can say, like a follow-up of the story in reference to the values. That's what you want to concentrate on. It could be, it would be more like an analytic kind of writing, more than creative, but it's okay. It's a writing piece. It shouldn't be very long, but it should be precise and in reference to the story. Yes, it could be to the Kiss Your Mama Llama, for example, and you have values there, or the carrot seed, and it's also there are also values there. Okay. Another one. We have a list here, but I want you to think. What else can you be? That's more analytic, but what is more creative? Think of something creative that is new, that shows imagination, feelings, creativity. What else? What can you do? With the basis of a story. For example, the carrot seed. What if the carrot didn't come out? What can you write there? We know that the ending is the carrot came up. Yes? But if we think of the opposite, do you think?
Change the
Change, yes. Change the ending of the story. What happens if we change the ending of the carrot seed? Have you thought about that possibility?
Yes, maybe it's more reality.
Yeah, more realistic or more
Realistic.
negative. Okay, but that's life. You see, life can be like that as well. So with hope, the carrot will grow, but probably the carrot will not grow. Okay. So you can change the ending of the story, and that's something creative. And you know there are these books, and I like this image. I will show you. And there are these books in which you choose your ending. Elige tu propia aventura. Have you seen those books? Have you seen them?
No.
So there are stories that were created in that sense. So readers can find their own story. Yes, if I follow this ending A, I have one ending. If you choose B, you have a different ending. So that's very creative for children. And think of this image I have just found. It can be very illustrative of what I mean. Yes? So imagine you are the reader and you have this. You go this way, the carrot seed grows. If you go this way, the carrot seed doesn't grow. So, and so on, so with many other stories, yes, with adventure stories. If you go this way, the character, I don't know, crosses the Atlantic Ocean swimming. If you go this way, the character flies to the moon, whatever. Yeah, it doesn't matter. With children, this works very well because they are very imaginative. If you tell them to think of endings, they will be very, very happy to think of imaginative ideas. So I think this is very useful with little kids. Very, very useful, very creative. There is something I didn't write in the list, but I will write now. What else can you do with a story for your students to enjoy and practice other skills, not only listening and speaking and reading? One more story, one more idea before we see the list. For example,
I don't know if it's okay acting the story, not reading.
acting, yes. So in that case, it would be another option.
Writing.
Acting. Yes, but here we are focusing on writing, analyzing, and
Yes,
creating.
yes.
But that would be a great acting out, not for a writing activity, but it is very good. And I think some of you had these ideas after post reading. Yes, planting the seeds, or acting something out, or doing some posters for school about some topic, some theme. All of those are activities that you have mentioned.
We would change the characters
Change the
and
characters. Oh, okay, this is
how can
writing.
I say el contexto?
Change the setting.
The setting
And
maybe in a
characters.
school or no?
Yes, for example, Daisy. I don't like peace. Can be I don't like mathematics. And the teacher says, if you do this mathematics exercise, you can go to break. No, I don't like mathematics. The teacher says something else. If you do the maths exercise, you will go to break early and you will have a chocolate. I don't like maths. Excellent. So that's a great idea. Yes. So what about Daisy in school? No, I don't like reading. I don't like writing. Okay. And so children will feel more identified with those stories because they can create what is it that you don't like? I don't like math. I don't like reading, writing. Yes, but keep the same story. Yes, and that's
teacher,
very, very, very useful with children. Yes. Any other question? Any other idea?
yeah, I have a question. Our rating would be based on another story. I mean,
Yes.
change the story.
Yes, you can change a story, use the same idea, main idea. Yes, because you know about themes, so you have the themes of hope, but it can be something else. Yes, not the carrot seed, not the carrot, but it can be hope on something else. The story of Daisy, I don't like, could be something else. For example, school with school subjects. That's very useful because that's the reality they live. And is your mama a llama when you're looking for identity, looking for your family? It can also be something, a child looking for parents or looking for a family. It can be any of the, so the topics are universal. Yeah, the themes, the messages are universal, but authors decide on one story or another, and you can be creative on that basis. Yes, I like this theme. I am going to write something similar or something that is more related to my students in this setting, for example, and many more things that you can do. So here we will go to the list. There are more. You have more ideas than this. I also thought of a poem. You can write a poem, those that are more poetic. You can write, well, these are more academic, more analytic. Yes, the book report, saying what is the book like or about, like an analysis of the book or an analysis of the author. Then you can write dialogues. For example, we have dialogues in Is Your Mama a Llama? A dialogue between the parents of the kid who is planting the seed. Yeah. So, for example, what does the mother say to the father? No, the carrot won't grow, or the carrot will grow. Well, so that can be something new around the story or related to the story. Then the description of characters was something that you can do with little kids. Yes, okay, describe this character in writing. Yes, how is Daisy? Daisy is short, tall, thin, fat, whatever is stubborn, is everything. Yes, what are her feelings? She doesn't like peace. She doesn't like. What does she dream? What does she hope? So this can be a long description of that character, which students can develop. Also, you, of course, as university students, but also students in primary school can develop a longer description of characters, of settings. If the setting is the most important thing, if it is a jungle and you want to focus on nature, that can also be. The message, what the girls were saying before, sorry, a description about values, about messages, that's more analytic, yes, more than creative, but it's something that can be done, that has not been done probably, and you can write your own reflection.
Teacher, are you watching? Are you show us the PPT?
Yes.
We was so.
Yeah, it's here. Can you see?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. So I was thinking of probably we can put together the ones that are more analytic and the ones that are more creative, yes? So here I was saying that these are analytic in the sense that you are probably referring to the book, to the author. For example, Dr. Seuss, he has so he created a career along writing books for children. So that can be like a reference, yes? But it's not creative. This is more analytic, what we saw here, yes? A writing that is based on analysis. Okay, then you have others that are more creative when you refer to, for example, writing the dialogue between two characters in the book, the description of the main character. This can also be more analytic, but this is something children in elementary schools do. They refer to the description of characters, description of settings, depending on what is most important, of course. And then you can change the story. Yes, the ending of the story showing two ways. If the carrot grows, if it doesn't grow, the llama finds the mother, if it doesn't find her, what happens there? A new story with a similar theme. Yes, exactly. You told me here, change the setting, change the characters, but keep the theme or the message. An epilogue. Oh, I thought I had written what an epilogue is. Well, I wrote the meaning. I will write the meaning in a minute. An epilogue is something you write as the post writing. Yes, it's more analytic. It can be focus on the message or on the themes of the story. So it's more related to an analysis of the story, more than creative, more related to the message, maybe. And you know, for example, in the books, whenever they write on the back of the book, they might write an epilogue. Yes, some kind of analysis of the story, the books, the novels you have at home. You can see this. It's an analysis of the themes, of the characters, something important that the authors, the editors in general want to say. Also a magazine or an article can also be analytic, in which you write in the magazine, school magazine, for example, or or paper, something about the story, following more and more analytic writing. But in all of these cases, you will be producing some kind of writing that has to do with, is related to the book, to the story of the book, but produces a new piece of writing. Yes, do you have any doubts? And there are more ideas. If you have some other ideas, please feel free. Do you have any other ideas?
No, I think.
No, but you have many, plenty, plenty ideas here. And then this would be the blueprint for the basics of the rubrics. And then you will upload that to Educandos. But for you to see what is the main ideas in the rubric, you will have to pay attention to content and remember that these stories have a content. Yes, in the written is relevant to the task. So you're given a task. I will show you that is right. Choose one of these follow-up writing activities. Yes, so you're writing about that. Remember, always. Also, when you're speaking about that topic I gave you, that task, and you inform the reader. Yes, so you write a complete idea. Deadline, Krishna, this from today to next Thursday, you have to send me the draft. Here, yes, draft. So that next Thursday you can start, so I revise, I give you feedback, and next Thursday you edit for final version, for the final version. Okay, so you start now, immediately now. Okay, Chris. Okay, so you start now thinking. Then communicative achievement, the writing, this piece of writing that you're writing includes the conventions of communicative tasks. You're not writing just, I don't know, some words. No, you're communicating an idea, yes, effectively. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you transmit an idea. If it is something incoherent, then I will give you back. No, write a sentence that transmits an idea. And remember, you might be writing something creative, but it's understandable. Yes, you are communicating an idea. Then you include the vocabulary. Remember the vocabulary, you know, everything you know. You're talking about the story, Daisy story, I don't like peas, and you have lots of vocabulary in reference to toys, material things that children like. Okay, so if you want to keep that, you keep the vocabulary. Yes, the basic vocabulary from the story. And grammatical forms, you know, so pay attention, you write, and you have the PowerPoints about the workshop in which you know how to write a sentence, subject, verb, object. You can refer to all of that, yes. But if you do not know a word, yes, if a word is uncommon or structure is uncommon, well, okay, I can understand that you might have some minor errors, yes, but everything you are supposed to know, you need to go a step further, yes, un paso hacia adelante, lo que saben ya lo tienen que hacer bien, y de ahí un paso hacia adelante. Organization, the writing is organized, and you know that, basic organization, you know there is a beginning, a middle, and an end. It should be coherent. And use the cohesive devices you already know, and, or, but. Yes, so you know how to do this at your level. You have this information in the PowerPoints in the workshop. You have them there as well. I can upload here the ones related to sentence, to cohesive devices.
Teacher, in the writing, we must to be to do another story, but from one story.
One
Or not?
story, yes, from the stories you have you have uploaded there, any of the stories. Try to, if you already did the carrot seed, don't do it again, do something else. I recommend you, yes, as a recommendation. But you're free, you choose whichever you like, because you need to be, you need to analyze it or be creative, and so it's your choice, yes. Also, creativity and communication, so you show evidence of creativity. That means you're not copying. It's not something you copy from the internet. No, it's something you create or you analyze, but it's yours. It should be original and is presented in a intended way. Yes, always communication. Then the writing meets a formal an assignment requirement. So you have a title or you have the idea of the writing and you follow that. So no spacing since you're writing on the Word. It's not a problem there, but it is an organized writing. Yes, it follows the amount of words. I'm going to write that down. Remember, it cannot be less than 200, 250. Remember, you're trying to go step ahead into writing a little bit more words. Okay, so that will be the format, yes? The text is neat, correctly assembled, and respects. Okay. Respects. Respects. Word number. Okay, more or less an approximation, but for you to know, you can write one sentence. That's not creative writing or analytic writing. No, you need to develop your ideas. And here, I'm going to write and here is the writing work, the process writing. Again, for you to have this idea that we will be completing stages, but we don't have until the end of December. It should be quick.
Teacher, sorry, but I don't understand what we must to write about what.
So you choose one of the stories. Yes, I will show you the task. You choose one of the stories. Yes, and then you decide on one of these different writings, follow-up writing activity. Yes, Phoebe?
Yes, estoy tomando apuntes.
Yes, so I will show you the task. Wait a minute, I have it here. So I will show you the task. And once you have that first version, you upload it to the task on Educando. Yes?
Teacher, sorry, can you say it in Spanish?
Yes, wait a minute. I will. Wait a minute. Okay. Yes. Since you were looking at this, okay, I am checking the task. So since you were, so you will decide on, so you will decide on a story, first of all. Yes, recapitulate. You will decide on a story. We did one as an example. Yes. Then we thought about writings that will demonstrate your interpretation of that story. And it can be different kind of writings. It can be creative writing or analytic writing in some cases. And we gave different ideas. And then you saw that these ideas were here. We rewrote some of these ideas. But these are follow-up writing activities. And that means a follow-up, so some activities I do after reading that will help my students develop also the writing skill. Yes, is that clear? Phoebe? Girls?
No much.
Okay, I will explain again. So you choose one of these activities to do after reading your story. Up to there is clear. Yes? Phoebe?
Yes, estoy escribiendo, sí.
Yes, so it's after your story, you will choose one of these. Okay. Then you go and read here the description of what you're asked in your writing, and then you will have the complete rubric. I will upload. And you will write a draft. Yes, un borrador. Okay.
Teacher can listen to you very well.
Yes, okay. So here I will show you the task for you to have an idea. Okay.
A ver, profe, déjeme ver si entendí ahora. Tenemos que escoger una historia.
Yes.
Y luego escoger una actividad creativa para cambiar la historia.
Yes, or not only change. You can analyze.
Hay que analizar la historia.
Algunos pueden ser de análisis, otros pueden ser creativos. Dijimos de los dos. Okay, so look at this. So you choose one follow-up activity and write a draft. Yeah? For example, if you focus on these, they are not very creative, but they are based on the story, but they are more analytic. Yes, you're going to talk about the messages, the themes, write an article, speaking about, writing about that book.
Okay.
Yes, do you understand this one?
Sí.
Yes. If you decide on one of these, they are more creative. That means you use your imagination more, your creativity, your feelings. Yes. So it's a different kind of writing. But they are all creative and original because you're not copying. ¿Sí? Ninguno de estos es una copia de algo, no copio de internet. Es creativo, es original mío. En ese sentido, sí es todo creativo. Sea más analítico o más imaginativo. Pero todo es original porque lo creo yo, de mi propio intelecto. ¿Ok? Is that clear? Round and round, yes? But we don't have so much time. Yes, this is an exercise that we need to be quick because otherwise the time will fly. So I need to revise something before next Thursday. Yo necesito una revisión antes del próximo jueves. Yes? And then you do your editing and your publication, hopefully. Okay, so we will revise now our, so please keep on thinking of the groups because we need to talk about this activity next class, okay? Girls?
Yes, le acabo de sacar foto para decirlo.
Sí, necesitamos las parejas y vamos a hablar de esa actividad next Thursday. Okay, and housekeeping. So what do for next class? You check because you have to finish these tasks. Finish, yes, because you have to do something else. So please be ready. Make sure you completed the assignments in the portfolio. Yes, you know how to do it. I explained that to you. Finish the task, structure, and key elements of narrations, que es lo que vimos al comienzo. Esa tarea 5 needs to be finished because now you do need to do something else. So the questions, all of that, finish. Then you check the PPT to find more resources. Yes, the information about themes, about foreshadowing, everything we spoke at the beginning. All of those elements of the narrations can be helpful. And choose the pairs that will work in the project. But I need to add something else. Finish, okay. Finish and upload your draft for the writing activity. Yes. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, so today is we are in week 12. Yes. Entonces la semana 12, week 12, you will upload the draft. Yes, week 12, sorry. I will give you feedback, and then next week you will write the final version. Okay. Check task 6. I will copy the name of the task and to write and the PPT. And check this PPT again and the video to be sure. Check task and the PPT to choose your follow-up writing. Okay. And I will copy the name is Writing Workshop from Children's Literature, Follow-up Writing Activities. You have the list there. If you want to do something else, you just do it. And then I check and I give you feedback. ¿Sí? Si les parece otra forma creativa de escritura, también me preguntan y les doy feedback. Yes? Okay. Bien. Anything else we need to remember?
No.
Okay, and I think this is our last task. Oh, no. I think this is our last task already. We're finishing already. And then you will have your activity project. So we are about to finish. So start today. Start with your pre-writing, with your brainstorming of pre-writing ideas. The same as pre-reading. You know how to do that. You told me, you think of previous knowledge of vocabulary. You know the themes, the themes, the messages. You have a lot of ideas to start your pre-writing. Yes? Girls?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. So you start there and you start writing. And the important thing is that you upload your draft. Okay, I will check again. Okay, so can you see? Let me check if you see the, can you see the text, the task?
Sí.
Okay, so you write here your draft. I will give you feedback. Yes, you choose one of these. So we'll choose this one. Okay, so this one. Only one, only one, yes. And you start writing. You write your title and start writing, and I will give you feedback. Yes? Is that clear?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Perfect, girls. And anything else we want to repeat?
I don't think so.
Is that okay? Rocio, are you okay with finishing the video? If you need me, we can meet tomorrow in the morning, but you need to tell me the time or midday. So please write to me and tell me if you can meet. Okay. We have the workshop. We will have a little bit of a workshop to revise some things about writing sentences and some verb tenses. Because we then have a meeting at 12 as well, so it won't be very long. And we are finishing already with the workshop. So I hope the ones who need some questions about writing can meet me there. And like in 10 minutes, because I need to go to the bathroom. Okay, girls, are you clear? Do you need anything else?
Uh-huh, I'm clear. Thank you for
No.
everything.
Okay.